Hey everybody! As promised, this week we're going to release another video. Yay! But before we jump into it, I wanted to give a quick thank you to our viewers, and please remember to like this video and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for your support. Alrighty, so this video is going to be a species feature, and what better species than our favorite, the hammerhead. Did you know, actually, that there are at least 10 known species? Fact number 1. Experts have identified 10 living shark species in the hammerhead family, although it's possible that even more exist. 9 belong to the genus Sphyrna, Greek for hammer, while the other, an oddball, called the winghead shark, is the sole member of its own genus. Keen-eyed observers can tell most of these guys apart by the slight differences in their skull shapes. Hammerheads also vary in terms of overall size. The smaller species max out about 3 to 5 feet in length, while the biggest is the great hammerhead, which can reach up to 18 feet long and weigh over 1,000 pounds. Crazy, right? Fact number 2. Unfortunately, some of these species are endangered. 3 hammerhead species have a high risk of extinction. The great hammerhead, which is threatened by the shark fin trade and bycatch, which is unwanted fish capture as a byproduct of commercial fishing. The winghead, whose population is believed to have declined 50% in 42 years from overfishing and net entanglement, and the scalloped hammerhead, which in 2014 became the first shark to ever receive protection from the U.S. Endangered Species Act. So, fact number 3. It looks like they evolved somewhat recently. In 2010, geneticists at the University of Colorado compared DNA samples from 8 hammerhead species in an attempt to map out the family's evolutionary history. The molecular evidence suggests that the hammerhead started to diversify around 20 million years ago. The fossil records tells us that sharks have existed for at least 420 million years. So, if the University of Colorado team is correct, hammerheads are relatively newcomers on the world stage. What did the earliest hammerheads look like? According to researchers, they were probably large-bodied animals. They also argued that today's modestly sized bonnethead and winghead sharks independently evolved from big ancestors. Great hammerheads like to swim sideways. A typical shark has 8 fins on its body. Probably the most recognizable is the first dorsal fin. It typically acts like a sailboat keel, helping the shark stay balanced while it swims. Sharks also have a pair of pectoral fins located on either side of the body just behind the head, which most species use to steer and generate lift. In the majority of sharks, the pectoral fins are longer than the first dorsal, but not for great hammerheads. The opposite actually is true. And that has a big effect on how these animals move. A 2016 tagging study attached GoPro cameras to 5 great hammerheads that were living out in the wild. While being monitored, the sharks spent 90% of their swimming time tilted to one side, usually at an angle of 50 to 75 degrees. Why did they do this, you might ask yourself? Well, it's thought that after a hammerhead rolls sideways, the creature's first dorsal fin acts like one of the pectoral fins. This actually reduces drag while also increasing the animal's wingspan. Both factors enable the shark to swim more efficiently. One species eats seagrass. Can you guess which one? The bonnethead is a small hammerhead that frequents warm, shallow waters. It hunts crabs and shrimp, and sometimes it also ingests seagrass. One survey compared the gut contents of numerous wild bonnetheads and found that up to 62% of all the organic matter discovered in their stomachs was seagrass. And in a 2017 experiment, captive bonnetheads were fed a 90% seagrass diet. Rather than waste away, the sharks gained weight. A feces analysis showed that the sharks were digesting half of the grass they'd been eating. Enzymes designed to break down plant matter are present in the bonnethead's digestive tract. Experts are not sure if the sharks go out of their way to eat the seagrass or they just swallow it accidentally while hunting small animals. Either way, the bonnethead now qualifies as the only omnivorous shark known to science. The larger hammerheads use their heads to pin down stingrays. So, if a stingray is found just above the ocean floor, a hungry great hammerhead will use its cephalofoil to pin the creature against the sand. Then, with a bite to the pectoral fin, or quote-unquote wing, the prey is immobilized. But the shark doesn't always escape unscathed. Great hammerheads are often found with stingray barbs on their faces. Hammerheads have better depth perception than other sharks. In 2009, biologist Michelle McComb and her team captured live bonnetheads, wingheads, and scalloped hammerheads to test their vision. They attached recording devices right below the shark's corneas and monitored the fisheye movements while sweeping light beams across their faces. The researchers found that the binocular overlap in the hammerhead's field of vision is up to 3 times higher than it is in lemon and black-nosed sharks, both of which have cone-shaped snouts. That means hammerheads have superior depth perception when compared to other sharks. One bonnethead had a virgin birth at a Nebraska zoo. What? This is actually something that we've written about and have been published about as well. In 2001, a bonnethead was born inside of the aquarium at Omaha's Henry Doorly Zoo. The birth came as a complete surprise to the staff because all of the bonnetheads in the tank were females, and none had seen a male of their species in 3 years. At first, it seemed likely that the mother must have been storing sperm. Females of many animal species can keep semen alive for years before using it to fertilize eggs. But testing confirmed that Omaha's baby bonnethead had no paternal DNA. The mother had reproduced by fertilizing her own egg cells, a phenomenon known as parthenogenesis. It had never been documented in sharks before. Some hammerheads travel in schools. Though many sharks are solitary creatures, scalloped hammerheads, which can reach lengths of 10 to 12 feet and can weigh in at 300 pounds or more, they form schools. The young sharks probably travel in schools for mutual protection, but nobody knows why full-grown scalloped hammerheads, which have few natural predators, congregate like this. The behavior may have something to do with the migration patterns or mating habits. Some schools are exclusively made up of females, while others contain sharks of both sexes and different ages. In adult-only groups, the fish tend to disperse at night before meeting back up during the day. The winghead shark has some crazy proportions. So, relative to its body size, the winghead shark has the widest head of any hammerhead, almost half as wide as its body is long. Wingheads live in the Indo-Pacific, where their oddly shaped heads make them prone to getting tangled up in fishing nets. Boo. Scalloped hammerheads can, in fact, get tans. What? So, it's a myth that sharks do not get cancer, but young scalloped hammerheads appear to develop cancer-free suntans. Researchers noticed that when young scalloped hammerheads are kept in shallow, outdoor pools, their skin darkened, going from a light beige to a rich chocolate brown. These sharks increased the melanin content in their skin by 14% over 21 days and up to 28% over 215 days. So thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed this video with 12 really unique, interesting, fun, / kind of sad facts about hammerheads, and we hope that you learned and we hope you share the video. Thank you so much, and we look forward to the next one.